The day I feared most has finally come. Fighting game greed has just skyrocketed, and unless we all come together to stand our ground right now, it's only gonna get worse from here. So please take a second, leave a like down below to share this news around. And if after watching you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and ring that bell. I'm trying to reach 500,000 subscribers before 2026, and I think we can do it. But alright, on to the terrible news, and it really is pretty bad. It's a terrible precedent. Remember 2 years ago when Mortal Kombat tried charging $10 for costumes and how much we all hated that? As fans, we put our foot down and dropped that price almost immediately to $5, cut it right in half, which honestly is still too much in my opinion, but the point is when fans kick their feet and get mad, things happen. And while $5 is too much for a video game costume, at least you get to keep it. Imagine trying to charge fans for a temporary experience. That's right, something you can't even keep. That's what Capcom is trying to do. They just announced the finals for their biggest tournament ever, but if you want to watch, it's pay-per-view only. That's right, if you want to watch, then you have to pay. Which is already terrible, but guess what? It gets even worse because no restreaming allowed either, unless you stream the clock. Yes, they actually said that, I'm not joking. And in case you're curious how much it costs to watch the finals for Street Fighter 6, the tweet itself says 4,000 yen. I'm an American, I've got no clue how that converts, but Google has a calculator, let's see real quick. What? You're kidding me? Almost $28. Are you kidding me? That's 3 movie tickets. I could watch 3 different movies for this price. Actually, forget that. It's half the price of a video game. They're charging you half the price of Street Fighter 6 just to watch the finals. That is absurd. I didn't know it was that high before recording the video. I knew it was 4,000 yen, but I had no clue how that converted into USD. Now I'm just mind boggled. Yeah, we can't bend the knee on this, people. I know some people are gonna buy it regardless, but we can't all bend the knee. We gotta stand firm here, because if this event sells tons of tickets, it's gonna keep happening. Every fighting game is gonna have this, right? The publishers and people who run these tournaments or just own the fighting games in general are gonna start pushing this idea. So I just want you to picture that real quick. Imagine every tournament finals being pay-per-view. You can't watch it for free, which currently is how it works. If you want to watch the finals of a tournament, it's free because ads pay for the experience and also people pay to see it live, which also guarantees these companies turn a profit. The tournaments always make money, otherwise they wouldn't keep doing it. So like mentioned earlier, at the start of this video, it's all about greed. They want even more money. It's not about breaking even. They don't care about that anymore. Instead, they want to make as much money as possible, which normally I'd be okay with, but it can't come at the cost of the consumer. $27 to watch a tournament is ridiculous. That's half the cost of a video game or 3 different movies. Keep in mind, that's the standard pay-per-view ticket. You can actually spend more. There's a 6,000 yen option. How much money is that real quick? $40. Yeah, $40 if you want the premium ticket to watch from home with your own internet that you already pay for and with your own computer, which you also already paid for. They're charging you for an experience that otherwise would have been free, and that can't be allowed. And of course, you're not allowed to restream, because if you could, then everybody would just watch the streams and get the same experience for free, or at least a very similar experience for free, while also paying a Twitch streamer they likely enjoy, so it's a win-win, right? That would be a good scenario. But of course, it's not going to be allowed because that cuts into their bottom line. I get why restreaming's not allowed, but I also don't agree with it. We can't bend the knee, everyone. We gotta stand firm and not pay for this. It's ridiculous. At the very least, the price has to go down. That has to happen bare minimum. So let me know down in the comments what price would be fair to you. I'm thinking around $10, maybe $5, honestly, because $27 is just too much. You would need 2 or 3 friends to go in on that to make the viewing experience actually worth it. Otherwise, it's way overpriced. Wait a minute, what the heck? So if you pay to see it in person, it's 2,000 yen for the qualifiers, then 2,000 more yen for the finals. That's 4,000 combined. You're paying the same price. It's not the best tickets, but still, you're paying the same price to see it in person. Or in other words, at home, if you pay for this pay-per-view ticket, you're being ripped off. You're paying the same price as people who sit and watch it in person. Are you kidding me? Who did the math on this? Imagine going to watch a boxing tournament or something else that's pay-per-view, right? Imagine if being there in person was the same price as the pay-per-view ticket. That's what's happening right now. now. Now with that said, I've got no clue how bad the B seats are or the C seats, but my point is you could watch both and that's 4,000 yen, around $27. Oh my goodness, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Oh, and keep in mind the price is the same no matter where in the world you live, which is not typical for normal pay-per-view experiences. That's right, usually if your country has less money, you know it's a lower income area, the price actually goes down. Netflix does this, HBO Max does this, Hulu does it, you get the idea. Companies understand that certain countries have less money to spend, so they lower the price to make sure everyone can still use their service because less money is still money. You want to optimize how many people are paying even in poorer countries, right? But these Street Fighter 6 finals that are pay-per-view do not lower the price regardless of where you live, which is crazy. Because even in wealthier countries, I think $27 is way too much to watch a single Street Fighter 6 tournament. However, with that said, ding ding ding, I understand why they're doing this too. They're avoiding the VPN loophole. That's why they're doing this. Yep, that's my theory. For anyone not aware, a VPN lets you change where your location is, and a lot of people, if they're smart, will switch their location to a third world nation or just a country that makes less money, then they buy a subscription to something because the price is lower in certain nations depending on where you live. It's honestly a really smart loophole. However, I think that's what Capcom is trying to avoid, right? They want to make sure no matter where you live, you pay the same price because that way you can't use the VPN loophole. However, with all that being said, if in the future they do lower the price for certain countries, buy a VPN, change your location, and then get the ticket. It will actually be cheaper. I know it sounds crazy and also a bit illegal, but it's not. There's no laws against this. It's all good and legal. You can do it. And this VPN loophole only works because it's $27 or $40 to watch this stream. And real quick, listen, okay, have a seat. I understand I sound a bit ranty right now, a bit angry, a bit over the top. However, please understand that for in-person tickets, I understand upcharging or making it a bit more expensive because you're paying to be there live, to see it in person with your own eyeballs. I understand that experience should be worth more. But honestly, I just can't get behind charging $27 to watch the tournament from home with the internet that you already pay for, with your computer that you've also already paid for. No, I'll find a way to watch it for free, even if it means waiting a week or a month or something like that. We can't bend the knee here, we gotta stand firm. Unless that price gets lowered, no, we can't pay for this. It's just too ridiculous. Listen, my channel is mostly Mortal Kombat viewers, I know that, I'm very aware, but that's why I'm making this video. Right now, it's just Street Fighter 6, which is still not ideal, but if you're not a Street Fighter fan, you probably don't care. You don't have to pay for it, you're not gonna miss out, you weren't even gonna watch it anyway, but keep this in mind. If this event does well and makes tons of money, and sells tons of those pay-per-view tickets, then it's gonna spread, alright? Mortal Kombat's gonna start charging, Tekken's gonna start charging, every fighting game, every competitive game in general is gonna start charging pay-per-view, which nobody wants, right? And not pay for this ticket, alright? Thankfully, as a Mortal Kombat fan, I'm safe for now because Final Kombat is being streamed on HBO Max, but it's not the only option. You can also watch on YouTube or on Twitch, both of which are completely free with some ads, which I can tolerate. However, I do actually pay for HBO Max already, which means I can watch Final Kombat for free, hopefully without any ads whatsoever. That would be dope. I think having more options to watch the stream is fantastic, and if there's free options that coincide with your existing subscriptions, I think that's awesome too. Currently, I like how the Mortal Kombat tournaments are being held. This Street Fighter 6 tournament, no. And keep in mind, I'm taking a risk by doing this because as of right now, Capcom gives me lots of free stuff. Any DLC character is free, I don't pay for it. As long as I make a video about that character. I understand this relationship I have with Capcom, and honestly, their games lately have been great. And the games they're making right now that I've seen trailers for also look really great. I don't want them to ruin this good faith that they're building for the fans and for the community. I think Capcom is doing great. But this Street Fighter 6 tournament threatens to tear everything down. $27 to watch one tournament is just ridiculous. Like mentioned earlier, that's 3 separate movies you could watch, or half a video game, or Silk Song. Silk Song is $20, get that game. I haven't played it yet, but I'm guessing it takes longer than one tournament's time to complete, so you're getting more bang for your buck with Silk Song. In other words, if you got $20 laying around and are thinking about buying this ticket, don't do that, just buy Silk Song instead. Alright everyone, that's about it for today's video. Thanks for watching and I hope you enjoyed. I ranted a lot, it's different from my usual videos, but I'm a big fighting game fan. I hate what's happening right now, and I know what the future holds if we don't stand firm right now and refuse to pay $27 for a single tournament. That's ridiculous. Don't forget what happened with microtransactions. We bent our knee just a little bit and now they're everywhere. They're in every single video game that comes out now. We did not stand firm enough. History will absolutely repeat if we don't make our voices heard right now. So that's why I made today's video. If you think fighting game tournament streams should be free, make sure to leave a like down below. Let's try and get today's video to 3,000 likes. And for anyone new, finish that combo by subscribing and ringing that bell so you never miss any future videos. I post content almost daily on this channel, so make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.